Hey guys, it's Caleb. I have a lot of knives to show you, and we're going to talk about them all in this video. So, if you're a knife nut, you may want to pause the video, go get some water, take a breather. Um, this is going to get intense. Well, I basically I'm just lazy. I had a lot of knives they kept coming in, and I'd say, okay, I'm gonna make a video on that one. I'll make a video on it tomorrow, whatever. And then more would come in, and then I'd have so many. I'm just like, oh, it's too much to make a video for each one. And so now here we are, and we're gonna make a video on a lot of knives that I've gotten over the past month or two. I've been away from home. I've had the craziest past couple months of my life, and I was in Texas for a month, and then I was seeing all these deals pop up on the Facebook groups that I'm on and then the forums and stuff, and I just kept buying knives, and I kind of went overboard for sure. But we're not even going to talk about all the ones I bought. We're just going to talk about the cool ones because we only care about cool knives. And I mean, all the knives that I've got are pretty cool, but some of them, I'll tell you why. I bought some of the other ones that aren't so cool. But anyways, that's later. For now, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. It is December 27th, and I think I'm gonna first the least interesting knife out of the bunch that I've got on the table here. It's probably this Benchmade 710. So, why did I buy this? This is the Knifeworks edition, and I've already got one right here. So they look similar, right? Well, this one has a mirror polished blade, right? Silver standoffs in the back, barrel spacers, deep carry pocket lip. It's D2 blade steel. So the original Knifeworks knife is M390, which is a better blade steel for sure. Split arrow lip, I like that. Blue barrel spacers, it's cool. Probably the best value that they've had. I don't know if they still are available on Knifeworks, but they were like 180 for a long time. M390 with these sculpted G10 handles, the texture on them, they're really awesome. But anyways, Benchmade 710 is awesome. I've made videos on the 710 specifically. Why did I buy this? Well, I just thought a polished blade was kind of cool. And I don't know. It's cool to see a Benchmade with a sterile blade. There's no maker's mark or logo or anything. It's super smooth. It was only 130, so 135, something like that. I figured, what the heck. And it's also brighter. The blue has more saturation. Like, it's more vibrant than the older one that I have here, so that's interesting. I don't know why. But, I mean, it just varies knife to knife for sure. So anyways, don't need to harp on this specific one too long. Just your standard, it's just a cool Benchmade 710. Tricked out a little bit. Love my 710s. I've got more right. This is another knife that I recently bought, but we're not going to talk about a regular 710. I just picked this up because it was a stupid good deal. It was like, I think it was $80. Old prototype, limited editions. I've got a bunch of 710s, but we're not going to talk about those. Next up, let's go with the Infidel. So I got an Infidel right here. How much do you think I paid for this? You guys know how much Infidels cost? They're like $400 normally, $350, $400. I paid $90 for this Infidel because it's got some issues. Sometimes it just won't. Now it's working. Certain angles just won't work, right? So it's got retracting issues, just action issues in general. Sometimes it just won't deploy, sometimes it won't retract, either way. So for $90 though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Benchmade and then get a blade swap to the regular satin double edge. I don't really care for the black coating on Benchmade knives too much. I wish they still made the single edged Infidel, but I've already got one, but I want more. Anyways, I did sharpen this. Sharpen it pretty good. And I don't know, just a used Infidel. Cool for 90 bucks. Swap the blade on it for 30 bucks, and then Benchmade will fix the internals, whatever's wrong with it. I took it apart. I cleaned it out, and then I re-lubed the spring mechanism just a little bit to try to help it a little, and it's not working. So I don't know what the deal is. Everything looks good. It looks cleaner than my other Infidels. So, I mean, the ones that I have that are users in the past. So I'm not sure why it's doing that, but I'm sure Benchmade, I'm sure they'll fix it. Either way, $90, can't beat that. I like the way a user Infidel looks. I like the way a lot of used Benchmades with the aluminum scales turn out to look. Just tell a story with all the wear they have on them. Honestly, I think I prefer the way this one looks to the newer Infidel. I mean, a new, chassis. But that is an awesome blade right there. S30 V2. Anyways, Infidels are awesome, and for $90, I will buy an Infidel that's heavily used all day long. Okay, let's see. Next up, let's go with where's the Microtech? Here we are. SOCOM Elite from Microtech. So this is a serrated version, and I'm not a big fan of serrations, but on user knives, I actually am okay with it. Also, well, collectors, depends. It depends on the knife. I'm fine with it because I think it looks cool on this knife, but most of the time I do try to stay away from serrations. It's perfectly centered. It's insanely smooth. Little glass breaker right there. These inserts feel like the same inserts that are on the Kershaw Blur. So, and this is an aluminum handled knife, so very similar materials, but just insanely different price points. This is, $30, $40, $50 knife, and then it's a $270 knife. But anyways, if you have a Kershaw Blur, you're not missing that much, honestly. But that sounds so dumb. You are I mean, it's a different knife, but as far as the feel goes, tip down kind of sucks, but I don't mind it, especially on a knife that looks this cool. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's never been something that bothered me. I've got a wicked 10K grit mirror polish on this knife. It is stupid sharp, even though it is thick. This is such a thick blade. I didn't think the SOCOMs were this thick, but if we were to compare it to like that regular 710 over here, can we see that? See if we can zoom in. So yeah, it was not easy to get the SOCOM Elite sharp. It took me forever. But once I did, and I widened it out just a little bit, it is sharp, 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 sharp. And serrations are still plenty sharp. This knife wasn't used much at all when I bought it. It was just lightly used. I think the guy probably cut one box or something. It is kind of thin in the hand down here. I don't know how to describe it. If you ever hold one, it's like my fingers, my index finger and my pinky finger, or my ring finger and my pinky finger kind of dig into my palm right there when I hold the knife. It's not that bad, but it feels great over here, and then once you get down here, it's a little thin. I don't know how to describe it. It's not a problem. It doesn't feel bad. It's just different from the other knives that I have owned, for sure. And I think it adds to the look, however they designed it. I think this is one of the best looking knives when it's closed. I don't know. I know that sounds dumb, but like, if you look at knives when they're closed, right? Like this Benchmade 710, like it looks okay. But I mean, that SOCOM Elite just looks so much cooler. I think open, it looks cool too, but Microtech makes some very aesthetic knives for sure. They just do it well. Ceramic ball bearings. I did take it apart. I took a look at it. Nice beefy liner lock for a liner lock. It's nice. Early engagement. Thumb studs are nice for thumb studs. I don't really know what to say about knives anymore. It's a good knife. For $270, I'd say it's in the ballpark for what it is. It is what it is. I've always wanted one, and I don't know if I'll keep it, but it's definitely, it deserves, the reputation the SOCOM Elite has. Just a solid folder. Super smooth. I don't know if bearings is, I mean, they did put ceramic ball bearings in here, so a lot of guys that, get it dirty, military guys or whatever, and they don't care about keeping stuff clean. I don't know how that's going to work, because bearings are great until you get grit and dirt and rocks in them. Anyways, awesome knife. Not much else to say. There's plenty of videos on this as well on YouTube. Yeah, I do like the groove right here. I always love knives that have a nice little groove for your thumb to go in, especially if they aren't flippers and they're just thumb stud deploying knives. And it adds to the look. I think that looks sick. Buttery smooth. And this is the 2018 version, by the way. We can zoom in on the year right here. You can see it says 03 2018 M390 over here. Serial number. Wicked. And actually, the size of it is pretty big. Look at that. Infidel is not a tiny knife. It's a lot bigger in person than I thought. They looked online, so. Anyways. Next knife. Oh boy. I'd probably say this one's a little less cool, but barely. Barely. This is the full-sized Benchmade Skirmish designed by Neil Blackwood. These have been gone for like 10 years. Discontinued. S30V titanium frame lock from Benchmade. It is one of the most beautiful knives Benchmade has ever made, without a doubt. I love the rainbow effect that they got on these milled holes. The green, the slightly green anodized titanium. It's really slight, but this titanium has a little bit of a green to it. It's just so beautiful with these holes right here with the milling in it, and the anodizing wrapping around. Goes from like a yellow, orange, purple to a blue. It's just, man, I don't know much else to say. There isn't a whole lot of videos on this full-size Skirmish, but they are very popular with the Benchmade collectors community. Like guys that collect older Benchmades, the Skirmish is one of the most sought after, without a doubt. And I've always wanted one. I've always seen them, and I'm like, that's a sick ass knife, and I really want one in my collection. But they're like $400. Not to say I haven't spent $400 on knives, but these discontinued Benchmades usually just go up in value. It's got a cool little dragon logo for Neil Blackwood. I like that. S30V. The holes up here are rounded, so with Spyderco's, they're usually really sharp. This one is kind of milled, so when you put your thumb to deploy it, your thumb kind of, it feels soft. I don't know how to describe that, but It's easy on your thumb and it feels good. It's just, it feels good. Very smooth. You know, I see why people have been trying to get after these because they don't make them anymore, and it's very unique looking compared to anything else. I mean, Benchmade doesn't make anything like this anymore. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they don't make anything interesting, but I do have the mini skirmish right here. And I will say the mini is the smoothest knife I've ever owned, without a doubt. I've had mini Sabenzas. This is so much smoother than anything I've ever felt. It's insane. It's tight too. It's not like loose smooth. It's very tight. But it's still, you can tell that it's tight, like the pivot, you know, is tightened down nice. There's not going to be any blade play or anything. It's like a bank vault, but it feels like it's on glass. And I wish each one of you watching this could feel it. It's just so nice. So those are just... Benchmade doesn't make anything like this anymore, and I wish they did, but either way, definitely cool collection pieces. I'm happy to have the full size and the mini now. You can see with them deployed, the mini is not a small knife, but the full sized is just ridiculous. So, anyways, there's those. Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. This is about to get insane. Got a Hogue. But how is a Hogue cooler than a freaking Benchmade skirmish? That's impossible, right? How is a Hogue cooler than a SOCOM Elite by Microtech? That's impossible. Well, it's not. This is the Alan Olishewicz Beta 1. This is I mean, I would call this a mid-tech for sure. Some people might even call it a custom. It is limited to at least this run. I don't know how many runs he's done. It says 50 right there. This is number 18. And as you can obviously tell, the blade is very unique when it comes to the shape. It's got a bunch of these little grooves on it. Kind of reminds me of the Kershaw Zing or something. Centered perfectly. This is just... Ooh. This knife had me going crazy. Oh boy. I've been putting off this video for way too long. I think it's been 6 months. I think I filmed the first part in December, my camera said, so I fast forwarded it. I didn't hear what I was saying because my camera doesn't play back audio very loud, but I saw that I was talking about the Hogue. And then I remember I was talking about the Infidel and how when it gets sent to Benchmade, I'm going to replace the blade and stuff. So I did that and then forgot to record a video talking about what Benchmade did and how well of a job they did and everything for 5 or 6 months. So it's here now. And as you can see, it's got a brand new blade. Still love the beat up handle scales on it. Internals have been replaced. Fires in any position and retracts in any angle. So I got an Infidel for 120 bucks. Can't complain about that. I mean, I paid 90 and then I paid 30 for the blade replacement. So it functions like a new one. It just looks like it's got some scars on it when you look at the handle scales, and I think that makes it even cooler. So I've been carrying this on me. This is my current EDC. I hate that word, but or acronym. But it's the knife that I put in my pocket or whatever. So the Hogue, though, I was actually looking at it in its pouch. Well, I was looking at the pouch in one of my display cases a couple days ago, and then I thought, oh shoot, I never recorded a second part to that video. And I just fast forwarded to my camera to look at where it was at. It looked like I was talking about this still. So if you're still watching this, hopefully this isn't too confusing, but it's confusing for me because I waited too long to make a second part to that first bit. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying about it, but this is just a sick knife. I forgot that I totally just space knives that I have sometimes, and then you pull them out, you look at them, and you're like, wow, that is actually a cool piece. And this is one of those. I'll just forget that I have it for a bit, and then I'll be like, wow. The carbon fiber on this is so beefy, but it's not heavy. It just feels super solid and lightweight. A lot of lightweight knives kind of feel chintzy to me. But, I mean, I wouldn't say this is lightweight either. It's probably 4.5 or maybe even 5 ounces. But for the size of it, and considering it has a barrel or a back spacer made out of titanium, I think, that's so beefy. It's pretty lightweight for the material that's being used, or how much material is on this thing. Everything on it is so perfect, but whatever the case, I saw one go on, or I saw one sell. It was sold under sold listings on eBay for $4.99, shipped, free shipping. So $4.99 is what the last one went for on eBay, and I don't know. That's just the way it is. But from what some knives cost, like XM18s, to me this is so much cooler than an XM18. It's not even comparable, and I've had plenty of XM18s. This thing is just insane. It almost has a Brian Ty look to it, but the screws aren't proprietary and dumb. Sorry. But not sorry. All the milling on it is just so perfect. Really positive lock. It's pretty cool. Hey Google, volume down. Jeez. So anyways, that's really it. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna make a few more videos like tonight because I've got a few packages I need to open with like 12 knives in each one, so I'm gonna do a video on that and see if I got scammed or not. But yeah, I bought a motorcycle. Might post in. I might throw in a picture sometime. But yeah, one of my videos, I think I saw one of my videos got like 30,000 views talking about microtex and stuff from a while back. I haven't checked this. I haven't looked. I never look at my views or comments much, but I do every like 6 months I will. And there's some dumb comments. I might make another video talking about them, but it's just, there's too much. There's too many trolls. There's too much dumb stuff out there. So, I don't know. But if you're a cool knife person and you're watching my videos and you don't say anything stupid, thank you. And I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna crank out a couple videos right now, actually opening some of these packages. I just wanted to end this video because it was kind of a weird part 1, part 2 thing. I had to send the Benchmade Infidel into Benchmade and all that. So, anyways, take care.